All right, guys, so if you notice, while she was actually going through the speed test and looking, she was quiet. I really didn't ask her any questions I wanted her to respond to because I want her to focus in on exactly what she's getting. So when I explain the shared connection, which I'm going to do next, right, it's going to make a lot of sense to her because she's going to be able to see that what she's paying for is not actually what she's getting. So this is what it looks like here. All right, so the reason why you're actually not getting the 400 over 40, it's not your fault. The reason why is because Spectrum actually had you guys on a shared connection. So that basically means the internet line that goes to your house actually goes to all of your neighbors' houses. So when you're online and they're online and their kids are online, you guys are all fighting for the same connection. Now with Frontier, the reason why a lot of your neighbors have switched over is because we actually run a dedicated fiber optic line directly from the hub, directly to your home. That way you're actually the only one on it and you can get the speeds that you pay for, right? But let me just look and see what you guys actually qualify for in this area. Okay, so now when you're checking to see what they qualify for, instead of having a lot of like dead air, you actually want to use this time with CPR. So that's where you can ask them about their family, their occupation, their recreation, their dogs, sports, whatever you want to do. Just make sure it's only 2 to 3 questions. But I'm gonna give you guys the most common ones that you can use. That makes it really short and simple. All right. So what's your address?
1439 Thistlewood.
Thistle, can you spell it for me?
Thistle.
Thistlewood. That in
Yeah.
Chesapeake?
Nope.
Okay. In Grapevine?
Yeah. Yeah, it just popped up.
Did it? Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Okay. All right, cool. So how long have you guys lived in the area?
Coming on 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years?
Mhm.
How you like it?
It's pretty good, nice and quiet.
It's
good
pretty
families
good?
around, yeah.
That makes sense. Would you recommend like raising a kid in this area?
Yeah, it's nice. Good couple schools around here.
Okay, that's wonderful. I have to let my wife know for sure. We're actually looking for somewhere to move and we want somewhere really good for our kid.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, congratulations. It looks like you guys actually do qualify for our fastest service.
Nice.
Now what that is 5,000 over 5,000, right? I mean, a lot of times it could be too much internet, honestly, depending on what you're using it for. So what do you guys use your internet for? Is it more like personal, business?
A combination of both. My husband works from home, so he's on Zooms a lot. He's using his computer, and then like streaming service.
Okay, that makes sense. So
Netflix.
both speeds are important for you guys. Okay, how many devices are normally connected? More than 10, less than 10?
Less than 10.
Less than 10? Okay, so then here's what I would recommend. Like right now, I think 5,000 is probably going to be too much for you guys. I'll be honest, even if I give it to you, you wouldn't know that you didn't need it.
Okay.
Right? So what I would really suggest for what you guys are actually doing in the house is our fiber gig service. Now what that's going to be is 1,000 over 1,000.
Okay.
Right? So right now, the reason why a lot of your neighbors have been switching over is because right now while I'm in the area, the reason why they have me out here for you guys is because we're actually just doing it for just $59.99.
Oh wow. Do you have a card?
So I'm glad you think I'm cool enough for a business card because I mean you may like me a little bit, but my job sure doesn't think so. So I actually don't have a card, but my process is really super simple. There's no exchange of cash between me. The only thing I've actually been doing for your neighbors is just locking in the promotions, picking the best date for the installation, and I'm going to leave you guys everything in writing. So I really just need to know what works better for you when our techs are in the area, maybe mornings or afternoons.
Probably more in the afternoon.
Probably morning, afternoon. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're actually going to go into the phone process. So I'm gonna show you like how sometimes you could add a little bit of CPR while you're signing them up, but you still want to get through it. So I'm gonna show you guys the phone process.
And I would add, so when you start the phone process to avoid pendings, you don't want to show the calendar to the customer, okay? You don't want to, because then they pick the date. So what you want to do is add a little fear of loss and say, hey, look, you said mornings, right? So unfortunately, we're booked for all this week. Our first day we can do it for the same promotion is Friday. And just say whatever day, but say something like, hey, unfortunately, we're already all booked this week, or we're already all booked tomorrow, so we can only do it in 2 days, and create a little fear of loss on the actual timing so that the customer's like, yes, I want the first install date. So you want to create a little bit of greed factor and, hey, unfortunately, we're booked all this week, or all today, or all tomorrow. Our first available to lock in the promotions is this day. So you can avoid high pendings and keep the install or the approval rate high. Okay, so
Okay.
and now you're going into the phone process,
Yes.
into the actual setup of the order.
Yes.